مرحبا وأهلا وسهلا. ترجع لعبة ستوكر بالجزء الجديد بعد 15 عام من آخر جزء من السلسلة ستوكر كول اوف بريبيانت، وبعد مشاكل بالتطوير والتأجيلات بسبب الحرب يقدم لعبة ضخمة وبقصة مشوقة وطريقة لعب فريدة. لو مش لاعبين اللعبة، بالفيديو بيكون في حرق للقصة والأحداث والنهاية. في قصة هذا الجزء نقابل الكثير من الشخصيات والأماكن من الأجزاء السابقة. لو ما عندكم خلفية عن أي شيء بخص اللعبة، يفضل أن تشاهدوا قصص الأجزاء السابقة لتستمتعوا بقصة هذا الجزء. موجود لينك تحت لقصص الأجزاء الثلاث الأولى. يا ريت لو عجبكم الفيديو تشتركوا بالقناة وضغط زر الإعجاب وتفعيل الجرس ليوصلكم كل جديد. تبدأ القصة مع سكيف، أحد قدامى المحاربين في سلاح مشاة البحرية الأوكراني، الذي عاد من مهمة استمرت لمدة 3 سنوات ليجد شقته محترقة. حادث غريب حدث فيها انفجار غامض غير معروف المصدر، ورزنامة على الحائط تدل على أنه العام 2021، ويعني أن القصة هذا الجزء بعد 9 سنوات من كول اوف بريبيانت اللي كانت أحداثها تقع عام 2012. يجد حجر غريب كريستالي مشع باللون الأزرق بمكان الانفجار، ويقرر أنه يأخذ الحجر ويذهب إلى المنطقة، أو كما يطلق عليها ذا زون، وهي منطقة تتمحور حولها كل قصص ألعاب ستوكر. نشأت بسبب مشروع علمي سنة 1986 في مفاعل تشيرنوبل، عندما قام مجموعة من العلماء بالقيام بتجربة أدت إلى كارثة غيرت أساس المنطقة. وحادثة ثانية في عام 2006 فاقمت المشاكل وأوصلت المنطقة لحالة لم يستطع العلم والفيزياء تفسيرها. أغلب الحالات الغريبة والغامضة سببها المنطقة، وهذا هو اللي خلى سكيف يعتقد أنه بالمنطقة سوف يجد أجوبة أو شخص لمعرفة سبب دمار منزله. طبعا العالم بالخارج يعيش بشكل طبيعي وحياة طبيعية. نعود للقصة. وبسبب التأثيرات الغريبة في المنطقة نشأت أشكال غريبة من الوحوش وحيوانات متحولة وبشر مثل الزومبي وغيره، مما جعل المنطقة خطيرة للغاية. عاد عن الحالات الجوية القاتلة من أعاصير وصواعق وإشعاعات، وحالة خاصة تدعى الانبعاثات تأتي بشكل مفاجئ لتغيير حالة الجو لسماء حمراء وعاصفة كهرومغناطيسية تقتل أي شخص بالخارج، ويجب الاختباء بالحال عند حدوثها. تنتج المنطقة قطع أو أحجار غريبة تحتوي على قوة أو صفات تجعلها مطلوبة وغالية الثمن، ممكن بيعها في السوق السوداء، مما أنشأ مجموعات تحاول الحصول عليها من مرتزقة إلى لصوص، بعضهم يدعى الستوكر، وأشخاص يريدون حمايتها مكونين من جنود أو عسكريين سابقين أو علماء يريدونها للأبحاث والدراسة. يتعاون سكيف مع دكتور هيرمان، وهو شخصية كانت موجودة بالأجزاء السابقة كمساعد بإحدى المختبرات، ولكن هنا أصبح شخص بخبرة ويعمل مع مجموعة جديدة على أن يساعده ويعطيه الحجر مقابل مبلغ مالي للحصول على منزل جديد. يساعد سكيف بالوصول إلى المنطقة للقيام باختبار باستخدام القطعة التي وجدها في منزله عن طريق جهاز الماسح الضوئي. الجهاز تم تطويره عن طريق دكتور هيرمان يتعرض لحادث بسبب تقلب الجو المفاجئ للمنطقة، وبعد نجاتهم يطلب هيرمان من سكيف أن يقوم بتجربة الجهاز مع القطعة الغامضة. وسبب فضول هيرمان أن قطعة سكيف ما زالت بحالة نشطة رغم وجودها خارج المنطقة، لأنه بالعادة هذه القطع تفقد قدراتها خارج المنطقة على الفور. باستخدام الماسح الضوئي يريد هيرمان أن يرى قدرات هذه القطعة وما تخبئه، ولكن يجب أن يتم المسح في مناطق محددة، وتم أخذ الإحداثيات من طرف شخص ثالث. وبعد المسح في أكثر من مكان وإحداث بعض الفوضى والشذوذ من إشعاعات وقوة كهربائية ومواجهة بعض الوحوش، يطلب هيرمان من سكيف العودة لوجود قوة أمنية تقترب من المكان، ويجب الهرب قبل القبض عليهم، أو أنه سوف يضطر لترك سكيف وحيدا.
Get to the scientist bunker. Nehoda will explain how to proceed with the scanner. He's waiting for you. Good luck.
يرفض سكيف التوقف ويذهب إلى النقطة التالية، ولكن عند البدء بالتجربة تظهر مجموعة مسلحة غريبة ويختبئ سكيف منهم. يبدو عليهم معرفة هذا الجهاز وقدراته، ويبدأ بالبحث عن أي شخص حوله، وفجأة ينطلق الرصاص من برج قريب لتبدأ معركة في المكان.
What's that? Some kind of anomaly. Quiet. I see the scanner. Tracing for anomalous activity in radio signals. Situation unclear. You inside. You to the roof. Move out. HQ, Roulette reporting. Come in, HQ. Damn it. Stalker PDA detected. Someone here! Oh, no.
يسمع من هيرمان أنه تم الإيقاع بهم من الشخص الذي أعطاهم الإحداثيات. يستغل سكيف الموقف ليأخذ الجهاز ويهرب، ولكن يتم إيقافه من شخص يدعى الجندي بالطريق ليأخذ الجهاز ويضرب سكيف ليغيب عن الوعي.
Finish him, and let's make tracks.
عندما يستيقظ سكيف يجد شخص يقف أمامه يدعى ريكتر. يطلب سكيف معرفة مكان تجمع السكان المحليون للذهاب إلى هناك، وريكتور يخبره بذلك. يصل سكيف إلى زاليسيا ويتعرف إلى قائد المجموعة وبعض الرجال، ويقوم ببعض المهام الجانبية من اصطياد أو قتل لصوص وغيره، من أجل معرفة مكان الجندي أو الشخص الذي ضربه وسرق الماسح الضوئي والقطعة. طبعا يحتوي المكان على مجموعة من جماعة الحرية التي تطالب بدخول وخروج أي شخص للمنطقة وفعل ما يحلو للجميع. بالمقابل يوجد مجموعة الواجب التي تريد الحفاظ على عدم دخول الغرباء أو اللصوص للمنطقة أو خروج أي قطعة منها للخارج.
I'm looking for Solder. Nope. Talk to Gaffer. That's him over there.
What do you want? Sit down and stay out of sight.
3 of my men never reported back from their overnight patrol around the lesser zone. We found their bodies by the old bridge.
Hey, soldier over here. What do you call 3 dead wardens up the zone's ass? A good start.
A trader who goes by Hamster is peddling this service weapon that belonged to one of those wardens. He got it from Squint.
Apologies, Captain, but Zalicia is a free trade zone. We have an agreement with Korshinov.
Where is Squint?
The zone has its share of secrets. Who are we to meddle in its designs?
Playing a wizened stalker sage, are you? Fine. Squint was there for sure. He finished off the wounded and looted their bodies. Is that the stalker way now?
بعد القيام ببعض المهام للنقيب زوتوف للحصول على بعض المعلومات عن مكان الجندي والحصول على جهاز BDA يحمل معلومات تدل على أماكن مفيدة.
Do you really think it was Squint who killed your men near the cabin?
It doesn't matter what I think. If the loners decide they can kill my men with impunity, things will get ugly real quick. Rest assured, we're going to find the real killer. But in the meantime, catching a looter who stole ward property will suffice.
Fine. What do you want me to do?
Squint is a piece of shit, but as far as the locals are concerned, he's a stalker first and foremost, and he knows his way around the lesser zone. A stalker like you might have an easier time looking for him.
How do I know you're not gonna screw me?
We're neither hustlers nor bandits. The ward keeps its word. Sure, the loners call us various names, but they've never accused us of scamming anyone. I want the sensor Squint took from the bodies of my men. If anything happens to him, I won't be too upset.
How do I know you're not gonna screw me?
So you made up your mind. I knew the lesser zone had its share of reasonable people.
Here's the deal. I tell you what I know, and you stop harassing our guys. Sound fair?
We'll see. Spill it out.
I asked around. I think he's nearby, at the warehouse. If you send a squad there...
He'll spot a squad at once. I'd rather have our friend take a look. In the meantime, I'll try to find you some answers, Stalker.
I think it'd be better to send your own men, Captain. They're experienced professionals, and...
Easy now, Uncle Lonia. Let's just have a seat and wait for news from whatever place you want me to send my men so badly. You've got your orders, Stalker. Good hunting.
نصل إلى شخص يدعى أو نظن أنه الجندي، ولكنه شخص آخر يدعى سكوينت. يرشدنا إلى شخص يدعى نستور، قائد عصابة يعرف مكان الجندي، وأيضا مجموعة أخرى من الأشخاص من عصابات متفرقة أو مرتزقة. لك الخيار بالقيام بمهمات جانبية لهم أو قتلهم، ولا يؤثر ذلك على أحداث القصة أو نهايتها. بعض المهمات لها معنى والكثير منها ممل ومكرر، لا يضيف شيء للقصة أو النهاية.
Where's my fucking scanner?
PMs tend to misfire a lot if you don't take care of them.
Well, I'm a lucky guy.
Funny. Oh, shit! Look, I'm a nobody. I just put anomalies on the map. Sure, I sold stuff on the side to guys like you, but that's it. Nestor runs the scanner business.
Nestor?
He's the one you should be talking to. The kingpin of garbage. It's a huge pile of trash. You can't miss it. It's north of... Oh, goddamn bread. Thanks, mate. Nestor. It's north of Zalicia. Oh. Hang on. Did you get busted? Listen, I didn't betray Herman. I've sold some people out in my day. But not you guys.
That's one less pile of trash to deal with.
نصل إلى العقيد كورشنوف ليشرح لنا مهمة جماعته وهدفها بالمنطقة، ونقوم ببعض المهام لهم.
No one's going to be watching them. No one's going to see them drink and fight and worse.
Ambushing people, attacking people, stealing.
Looks like this place is getting under your skin too. I'm Colonel Korshunov, commander of the ward. And you must be Skiff. I know what you did in the Lesser Zone. It's interesting that you've decided to work with the ward. That's an unusually sensible decision for your kind. You guys usually think we're ruining your fun. Do you understand what the ward is really doing here, Stalker?
They keep the place secure for Circa.
In a way. But the truth is simpler than that. The zone has been doing more harm than good for a long time now. It's become a kind of amusement park for scumbags. But the ward is going to put an end to that. The zone is a valuable resource. I couldn't care less about stalkers and bandits as long as they stay out of my way. But I can tell you're not like them. You have a purpose.
Right now, my purpose is to find Nestor.
Under different circumstances, I could have easily arranged for you to meet him. But Nestor's missing. The last person who talked to Nestor was Chornozem, a murderer and a thief. He and his gang are staying at the depot, and we're going to assault it and get the answers from him. Are you with us?
وبعد الذهاب إلى المصنع على أمل أن نجد الجندي، نجد جهاز آخر من الBDA، ونعود لنقع في كمين مع العقيد كورشنوف ليجلس معه لعقد صفقة، وينضم إليهم الدكتور دالين رئيس مجموعة سيركا ليتحدثوا عن صفقة للانضمام إليهم ومشروعهم السري والبحث عن شخص يدعى ستيرلوك. ستيرلوك هو الشخص أو البطل الأساسي لسلسلة ألعاب ستوكر القديمة، ويفضل مشاهدة بعض الفيديوهات القديمة لمعرفة قصته بالكامل. قاعدة سيركا تم إنشائها من قبل الحكومة لدراسة المنطقة والقيام بتجارب عليها وعلى القطع الغامضة والكائنات فيها. كان ستيرلوك يعمل معهم هناك كمستشار لمعرفته الكبيرة بالمنطقة، ولكن غادر بشكل غامض في يوم من الأيام. نكتشف أن الماسح الضوئي من اختراع سيركا، ويريد العقيد أن يعرف ماذا حدث وأين ذهب الجهاز، ولكن ليس بسبب أهمية الجهاز، وإنما من أجل القطعة التي فيه التي وجدها سكيف في شقته. سكيف لا يعلم مكان الجهاز، ولكنه يملك جهاز BDA يحتوي على بعض المعلومات التي قد تدل على مكانه، وأنه قد يكون مع مجموعة تدعى نونتايت المكونة من جنود مونوليث سابقين بقيادة فاوست، الذين تم غسل أدمغتهم سابقا كما ذكرنا في قصص الألعاب، والذين يسعون إلى تكوين حياتهم الخاصة. قد يكون لهم يد بما حدث، وهم مجموعة أو جماعة كانت تعبد وتنفذ أوامر صادرة من جهاز غامض من بقايا التجربة العلمية القديمة. طبعا هنا لو تم إظهار جهاز الBDA للعقيد والدكتور، سوف تذهب إلى مركز تيركا وسنحصل على بطاقة تسهل عملية التنقل بالمنطقة. ولو لم تخبر العقيد، سوف تقوم بمقابلة ريكتر وسكار قبل الذهاب إلى ستيركا.
Miracles of the zone.
Unfortunately, I wasn't given a chance to introduce myself. My name is Dmitro Dalin, and I'm the head of Circa. The scanner is the Institute's greatest achievement, but right now, what really matters is the revived artifact at the heart of it.
Wasting your time, darling.
If you get it back, our dream can become a reality. Mankind will be transformed. We'll open the way for future technology. And it will all be thanks to you. Thanks to your courage and perseverance.
Nice to know, head of Circa.
And rest assured, all your hard work and efforts will be rewarded handsomely.
بعد الخروج من الغرفة نتكلم مع ريكتر ويخبرنا عن شخص يجب مقابلته لمعرفة أمور أخرى تخص المنطقة وأسرارها، وهو سكار رئيس مجموعة سبارك، وهو شخصية كانت موجودة بالأجزاء السابقة مع فرقة مكونة من توبول وسبيريت وسنيك ومايس الذين ساعدوا هيرمان بالسابق بمشاريع وأبحاث خلال كول أوف بريبيانت وكلير سكاي. مجموعة سبارك بقيادة سكار تقوم بحماية المنطقة من مجموعة الوارد التي تريد أن تتحكم بالمنطقة. سكار بعد أحداث كلير سكاي نرى تأثير الحادثة هناك على عقله، أصبح يتكلم ويتحدث عن أفكار ومعتقدات غريبة، وما زال مصر على أنه ما حدث بالمنطقة بسبب ستيرلوك. يخبرنا سكار عن أن الماسح الضوئي ليس من إنتاج سيركا أو هيرمان، بل من إنتاج شيء يدعى الوعي سي، وهو شيء أو برنامج مكون من وعي العلماء الذين أجروا التجربة بالمنطقة وتم قتلهم وهم في كبسولاتهم، وتحول وعيهم إلى مكان واحد مشترك وأصبح يتحكم بأمور كثيرة بالمنطقة ويلقب بالوعي سي. سكار بيحاول يقنع سكيف بعد أن يريه مجموعة من الستوكر مثل الزومبي تم تحطيم قدراتهم على استخدام عقلهم من طرف قدرات المنطقة وتأثيرها، وأنه وجد الحل لعالم مشرق يحل فيه هذه المشاكل ويشفي جميع الستوكر ويعيد كل شيء إلى السابق.
Among the old bones, there were scientists here way before the Institute, even before the zone itself came into being.
Ah, so they're the ones that left us the goodies that we give to the ward. Take a seat.
You, don't like the ward?
The ward have no desire to conquer the zone. They want to extend the Institute up to its borders.
They want to turn the zone into a testing ground to meet mankind's insatiable needs. Darlin says it's all for the greater good of the mainland, but what does that really mean? It's perfect as is. People come to the zone to witness miracles.
One of your miracles wrecked my home.
Uh-huh. Things just got interesting. So you've seen an anomaly outside the zone.
That's why I'm here. Someone's gotta pay.
Oh, shit's gotta go down at the Institute. I've heard the rumors, but never firsthand. And I've got a funny feeling there's more trouble to come.
As long as Circa keeps going, none of this is gonna end well. For any of us.
What do you want to achieve?
Zombies!
Relax. This is the dark side of the zone. But there's another. The shining side. It's here all around us, but we cannot see it. I wonder what's out there. Eternal spring? The Klondike of artifacts? A new home? Or our hearts' desires? But most importantly, no ward. We want the shining zone to reveal itself. For now, as far as we're concerned... Oh, shit. You're just a good guy. That's all I'm going to say. Or rather, I think that's all you are ready to hear. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Would you like some toast? I get it. You're angry. That's why you're not hungry. And couldn't care less about the troubles of others.
I got enough troubles of my own, thanks. Well, good luck. I hope it works out for you.
Hey, easy now. Do you need anything?
Nah, it's my shit. So I'll sort it out myself.
Fair enough. Thanks, Stalker. Spark has a good memory. See you around.
بعد الخروج من عند سكار نقابل ميوت أحد رجاله ليخبرنا بالذهاب إلى المنطقة البرية، وسوف يساعدنا للوصول إلى هناك لكشف المزيد من المعلومات، ويجب الوصول إلى شخص يدعى سترايدر.
Come on, man. Chill out. Scar never taught me his tricks. I used to take refuge among Veron's men. I hear you pay through the nose for that PDA. Anyway, it's a monolithian gadget. You'll find the answers you need on Wild Island. The place is off limits to stalkers, but if you help me, you can get in.
What's Wild Island?
You really don't know? It's Noon space. That's right. The same Noon that's made up of former monolithians. Most of the horror stories they tell about Wild Island are just fiction, but loners still ain't allowed there.
And how do you propose I get there?
I'm actually from Wild Island myself. Our group was supposed to deliver some important cargo, but I decided I'm not going back, and the rest of the group never reported back to base either. Get the cargo, please. They'll let you in. Professor Ladechka has been waiting for it for a long time.
Where's the cargo that'll help me get in?
Here's the spot where my group made contact for the last time. Find the cargo and take it to Wild Island. Look for Strider. He's the leader of Noon and the only man there who'd be willing to help him. If anyone asks, just apologize for me. Tell him years ain't never coming back.
نذهب بعد ذلك لمقابلة أعضاء نون تايد وسترايدر، أحد الشخصيات من لعبة كول اوف بريبيانت، وهو أحد الناجيين والذي استعاد السيطرة على نفسه بعد أن كان أحد أعضاء المونوليث الذي تم التحكم بهم بالسابق. نقوم بمقابلة البروفيسور عن طريق سترايدر والقيام ببعض المهام، ونجمع المزيد من المعلومات عن المنطقة. نقابل بالطريق أشخاص آخرين لا يضيفوا شيء للقصة أو النهاية. نقوم بتفعيل جهاز طلب منا سترايدر القيام بذلك ليساعد على حماية مجموعته من السيطرة عليهم. بعد القيام بواحدة من المهام وقتل مخلوق يتحكم بالعقل، نخرج لنقابل مجموعة من نون تايد منشقة تريد قتلنا. فاوست يحضر الانقلاب على سترايدر والسيطرة على المونوليث ومجموعة نون تايد. يكشف سكيف المؤامرة بعد النجاة من محاولة قتله ويخبر سترايدر.
You can go and hide from him and cower away in some musty hole in the ground, but that won't stop the wind from blowing or the rain from pouring. Crazy fanatics, they say. Murderers. Brave warriors, I tell you. His worthy children.
Stop brainwashing my men, Faust. You're only making it worse.
What could be worse than this? What have we become? Are you happy, Strider?
My boots are fine for the road I walk. There are more important things than happiness.
And what's that then? Backbreaking work? Hardship? That enduring sense of guilt? It didn't used to be like this. We were different, part of something much greater. I was the Word, and you carried the banner of the monolith.
We brought death against our will.
Well, now we're dying ourselves. The fumes are killing us, as are the bullets of our vengeful enemies. How many brothers roam the zone to this day, lost and forgotten, forced to hide their past. We have to find them. We have to bring them to their safety.
By force? We all know about Wild Island. Everyone must make the choice for themselves.
And what will they find here? The meaning of life? Or a similar bunch of miserable wretches just like them who don't know what they want?
Strider saved us!
Yeah. And now he's killing us. Once we were his children. And what are we now?
Men of free will, who choose their own way. You're living in the past, Faust. The monolith is dead. It's time to grow up.
You can't kill God. Just like you can't get rid of the sky up above.
Think again.
I am blind, but it is you who cannot see. Go cower in your hole in the ground. Hide from the past. Hide from his light. Hide from yourself.
Skiff, do you have the inductor?
What did I just see?
The end of one very long argument. I just hope we never find out who was right.
I get scared, though. Fate is fate.
You said Noon has rejected its monolithian past.
Losing our memory was a gift from fate. I believe that Noon has its own way, its own future. And we will earn it with the sweat of our brow. But Faust, he still remembers Monolith. Remembers the days when we used to be happy. Unfortunately, there are others who wish they could still remember it too. So now they're gone. They're no longer a part of Noon. But if any of them ever changes their mind, Wild Island will always welcome them back.
Sure. I have it with me.
There's an old azimuth comm station not far from here. One day, after we find and mothball all that's left of Monolith, we'll destroy it. In the meantime, Course?
It's a good thing you have that inductor, Stalker. It can direct a signal. You'll need it later. But the station needs to be turned on first.
Azimuth was taken over by the Ward a little while ago. They have the access keys. I guess you can figure out what to do about them.
It looks like Faust is involved in this mess. Are you gonna do something about it?
You think I haven't tried to stop him, Skiff? What am I supposed to do? Silence him? Lock him in his cell? People blame us because of our monolithian past. But Faust, he was one of the first people I brought here. We built Noon together. He cares for his brothers. He wants them to find happiness. Faust's got his own way of helping them. I might disagree with the path he has chosen, but that's no excuse to take away his freedom. Otherwise, what's the point of it all?
So I guess I'm going to Azimuth.
Wait a minute, Skiff. This isn't just your concern anymore. Faust is my brother. That much is true. I still trust him. But if it turns out that he's going to hurt someone, Noon is not your enemy. And this is my proof. Keep it, Loner.
It's a good gun. Why would you give it to a stalker but wear a shell casing that matches it around your neck?
The gun is a gift. For the future. As for the shell casing, it signifies the past. Do we understand each other? Noon is not monolith. We make our own choices now.
نذهب لأحد الأماكن يدعى السمت ونقابل الجندي من الوارد يملك جهاز يتحكم بالعقول مثل الجهاز الآخر الذي يحول الناس إلى المونوليث. نكتشف أنه عميل مزدوج ويعمل مع فاوست للحصول على الجهاز ليساعده بالتحكم في مجموعة سترايدر وتحويلهم مرة أخرى ليصبحوا من المونوليث. فاوست شخص مقنع للغاية ويسهل عليه الضحك على عقول الناس الضعفاء ليقفوا إلى جانبه وينفذوا مخططاته. فاوست رجل أعمى بأفكار تعارض أفكار سترايدر وهم في نفس المجموعة ولكن له رأي آخر بخصوص المونوليث. سترايدر يريد أن يحرر جميع المونوليثيين من ماضيهم ويصبحوا أحرار مع نفسهم وعقولهم، بينما فاوست يريد العكس وأن تستمر مجموعة المونوليث والبقاء تحت السيطرة وعدم وجود قوة إرادة أو تحكم بالنفس. يجب البحث عن قاعدة كلير سكاي والكشف عن المزيد من مخطط فاوست، وللعثور عليها يجب أن نجد خريطة موجودة في سفينة نائية.
Don't you understand? I'm almost done, Stalker. I'm sorry, but I can't leave any witness.
Tenacious one, soldier. Ruthless too. There are no better qualities for those who walk his path. You've earned the right to hear me once more. On a ship bound for nowhere is a guide who's trying to stay afloat. He will show you the way to clear sky. Once you get there, you'll never be alone again. Come to me.
ونعثر على ترابر ليدلنا على شخص يدعى النبيه.
I hear you used to work with Nimble. I'm looking for him.
Yeah, I did. He wasn't much help, though. I sent him to a snork cave. All he had to do was hit a button, but I haven't heard any explosions yet. The bastard sure was glad to get his pay up front. Now I remember why they called him Nimble.
ونكتشف أنه الشخص الذي هاجمنا بداية اللعبة وأخذ الماسح.
I don't know who you are, Stalker, but you best run. Sure.
Clear. Skybase.
You good now, bro? That's what I thought. Two close calls in a minute. Not cool. Fucking snorks, man. You were asking about clear sky. What do you want to know?
You. The night back at the old bridge.
You stole my scanner and gave me a hell of a...
نعرض عليه البقاء على قيد الحياة مقابل معلومات وإرشادات تدلنا إلى قاعدة كلير سكاي.
Shit! I'm just a guide. I was only showing the way, all right?
Yeah? To monolithians.
It was a run-of-the-mill job where the customer's kind of shady, all obsessed with a monolith and shit. But I'm not in the business of killing stalkers.
But you are in the business with Faust.
He ain't that bad. Maybe a couple of screws loose, but here in the zone, that don't exactly make him unique. Although, that whole blind thing, I think it's a crock of shit.
What is Clear Sky, anyway?
It used to be a faction. They broke up a long time ago. I used to help them out here and there, fetching stuff, running errands. They paid and fed me well, so I never asked them what they were after. Now, Faust has taken over what's left of their base. He even somehow got around Kalencha's defenses. His men still need a guide, but he's walking around like he owns the place. Don't look at me like that. I don't get it either.
Why did you decide to work with Faust?
Because he paid me an artifact. Some military-grade weapons, too. Ward shit. I even got a Gauss rifle. Sold it in the blink of an eye, although I should have auctioned it off. I don't know how he got to Clear Sky, or why I had to guide his men there and back. That's none of my business. Curiosity killed the cat, you know.
How do I get to Clear Sky?
I saved your life once, and now I just might save it again. Don't go there. Steer clear of that place.
I should have shot you after all.
Fine. If you want to die, be my guest. Here's a map. Professor Kalenchab set up some defenses when he left Clear Sky. You can't get through without this map. There are beacons on the map. You have to calibrate 4 of them to your signal. Then, you can get through the ruins and the swamps and into Clear Sky. Any other questions?
Who is this Kalancha guy?
A scientist. Very smart guy. He was a Clear Sky too. He knew things were going south. He's the one who gave me the map and told me all about the beacons. And then he took off without even saying goodbye. I guess he just couldn't stick around that base anymore. Not after everything that went down. I get it. Whatever Faust is doing there, at Clear Sky, it's like robbing a grave. A mass grave.
So what happened at the Clear Sky base?
We went to the center of the zone to stop Stirlok. And I was the only one who made it back. You ever go back home just to find the place deserted and destroyed?
Yes.
Then you know there are some things you just can't fix.
How do those beacons work?
Professor Kalencha mentioned something about them affecting the controlled anomalous psi field there on the Clear Sky base. But I never got into that stuff, even though I used to hang out with those Clear Sky scientists. If it works, good. If it doesn't, screw it. The point is, you can't get to Clear Sky without the map. And you have to recalibrate the beacons. Otherwise, you'll wander around the ruins until the cows come home. Unless you're Faust. Screw 'em.
All right, you're free to go.
I wouldn't go anywhere near that place if I were you. But I get the feeling you ain't gonna listen. I met a guy once who was as stubborn as you. He had a big-ass scar across his whole face, and crazy eyes, just like yours. How does the zone even find guys like you? I ain't gonna wish you luck. You don't need it. So I hope we never meet again.
بعد الحصول على الخريطة وتعطيل جهاز البي اس اي في المستنقعات لفتح الطريق للوصول إلى قاعدة كلير سكاي، نقابل فاوست بعد الاختباء من إحدى الانبعاثات ليشرح لنا عن أفكاره، ونرى جزء من الوعي سي ليتضح لنا أمور أخرى جديدة.
Monolith. Hanged. Alive but lost. Wait just a second, Skiff. And the scanner is yours. I need to say my goodbyes. Farewell to our great past. Enemies, yes, but united by faith in one idea. For your kind, it was the wish granter. For us, the monolith. It spoke in many tongues, but everyone heard only what they wanted to hear. Repentance. Forgiveness. Not a chance. After a decade of silence, only hatred remains. The monolith has abandoned us to make us understand. Being alive does not mean to be happy. Nothing else matters.
بعد ذلك نقابل سترايدر وسكار. سترايدر يخبر سكيف أنه يعتقد أن الجهاز الذي يتحكم بالمونوليث، أو كما يسمى بالألعاب السابقة مانح الأماني، تم نقله إلى داخل مركز شركة، ويجب أن نتحقق من الأمر. يتضح أن هيرمان كان وراء الفوضى في المختبر، وأنه مازال على قيد الحياة، وأنه وديلين خلف الانفجار بمنزله بسبب تجربة لمصلحتهم الخاصة. يغضب سكيف ويواجه ديلين.
What did you want to talk about?
I found out that the ward moved the wish granter from the CNPP to Shirka.
The monolith.
That toy is way too dangerous, even for Dallin. Especially for Dallin. The zone itself could suffer for it. And then the dark would eclipse whatever light still remains here.
I've seen Faust. You mentioned the wish granter as well before he disappeared.
So he's in on it too. The past will never let us go, will it?
Do you think Faust is planning something that involves Circa?
If you put 2 and 2 together, you'll probably get 4, even in the zone.
If the monolith really is at Circa, like Scar says, then Faust is doing all of this for one reason. To get inside the Institute.
Dallin is hell-bent on making a scientific breakthrough, by any means necessary. If the wish granter is activated again...
No. I won't allow that to happen.
Can you remind me again what the wish granter is?
An atrocity.
It's a device that was used to protect the center of the zone. They had it installed inside the CNPP sarcophagus. It drew stalkers to it with the promise of granting wishes.
The wish granter, or monolith, drove people insane. Those who survived the ordeal were brainwashed and became monolithians.
I've always wondered, Strider, what did you wish for when you got there?
A Strider wants to know what Faust is up to. I want to get to the bottom of the whole scanner business. But what's in it for you?
See, Strider doesn't trust me either. But like I told you before, I just like helping people. The zone represents the delicate balance between the dark and the light in all of us. The monolith disrupted that balance once, and it will do so again. Besides, anything that hurts the ward is fine by me. We all do what needs to be done, and we risk our lives for what we believe in. That's the only way, Skiff. Otherwise, we're no better than zombies.
So what do you want from me?
I see you found what you were looking for, and you're going to find even more in the darkest part of the zone, built from the brightest of intentions.
The scanner is your chance to get into Circa. Then, you'll be able to find out if that damn machine is really there. I'll get my squad together and head for the Institute. We need your help, Skiff. Noontide... No. The entire zone is in danger.
Sometimes good people make bad choices. I trust you to make the right one.
Scare, we've got wardens here. A lot of them.
Goshnov knows what he's doing, and I'll give him that. Would you welcome our guests, Skiff? Strider and I need some time to get off the stage.
What about your men?
Skiff will lend them a hand. He's a good man. And if not, my men are good soldiers.
Skiff, you made it here too. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised given what you went through to bring my scanner back to Circa. I'd say I'm glad you made it through your first night in the zone, but you probably wouldn't believe me.
You bastard. I thought you were dead, and you just took off.
What else was I supposed to do? Fight my way back to you? Things aren't as straightforward as they seem. Come on in, I'll open the door for you. Experimental design to create a spatial anomaly. I knew that the ward wouldn't risk going through it. It didn't work though. We're inside a mothballed section of X11 now, not outside the Institute as I'd intended. Don't worry, I won't leave you here. I feel like I owe you for that night. Besides, it looks like you've actually brought us the Alpha. This is my accomplishment, Skiff, not Darlin's. The only thing that snot-nosed genius managed to achieve was watching the Second Caribbean experiment. And that's precisely when anomalies and artifacts too began cropping up outside the zone.
The Second Caribbean experiment? What's that?
Without the Alpha, Darlin's work was going nowhere. When he realized he couldn't replicate the artifact artificially, he resorted to drastic measures. He tried to repeat the Caribbean experiment. It was our first contact with the noosphere, even before the zone came into being. That's when the first Alpha artifact appeared. I told him it was too risky, but our golden boy was willing to risk the entire world in the name of science. So how did it feel when all that progress came crashing down on your own doorstep?
So you knew my artifact was the Alpha all along. Then why the act?
Do you realize the odds that out of all the artifacts, yours was the one we were looking for? I wasn't even hoping for it. But even if I had, why would I tell you that you held the key to the future of humanity in your hands? This was supposed to be my triumph and mine alone. Not Darlin's, definitely not yours. Sorry.
My home was destroyed because of Darlin's experiment? And you knew about it the whole time?
What? Darlin failed to mention any outside events. And Korshunov conveniently left out who was responsible for your wild goose chase around the zone. Yes, Skiff, I've been aware of this all along. And so have they. Every asshole in this place has an agenda of their own. At least I tried to help you. I warned you about the attack, remember? But that doesn't matter anymore, and I'm running out of time. I've reconfigured the bubble. It'll take you back to Circa. Then you can tell Darling what you think about the price he paid for progress.
يقابل العقيد ودلن ويحاولون شرح الأمر لسكيف والأسباب وراء ذلك، ويعرض عليه أن يجرب مانح الأماني ليرى ما حدث بالماضي ويكتشف السر. بعد أن يجرب سكيف مانح الأماني ويرى جميع أمنيات ستالكر بالجزء الأول، سكيف يواجه الحراس ليكتشف الحقيقة كاملة بعد ذلك.
Men will do.
Not quiet. We need someone who's already had a particular kind of experience in the zone. Basically, we need a stalker. The readings all match up, but to see it with my own eyes, that's something else. A scientific miracle. Alpha, quarter of century ago, maybe even longer. The artifact that started it all.
It's still going strong, and not just in the zone.
You stalkers with your tall tales. You need to lay up the booze.
The second Caribbean experiment, you asshole! Tall tales, huh? Look at me! I lost everything back on the mainland, and you tell me to lay off the booze!
To the victor go the spoils. This experiment is not going to conduct itself. Stand down.
We had a simple choice. Sit back and just wait for another super emission, or take a chance at get control of the anomalous energy. And look, our gamble paid off. As for your home, you can blame the zone, not me.
Cool it, soldier. The second Caribbean experiment didn't go as planned. During the experiment, the group was attacked by Scar's saboteurs. They're local stalkers, a thorn in my side. And since they achieved what they set out to back then, you can be sure they'll keep trying to get in our way. You're blaming the wrong people, Skiff.
Let's hope that this time, security will be your top priority. So, now that everyone has blown off some steam and is capable of having a civilized conversation, let's move on to the one truly important thing. Science. Do you want to know what's there? Behind the glass? It's the dream of every stalker. The wish granter. Also known as the monolith. It's not a myth, nor is it a deity. It's a sea installation created by scientists from Project X. Instead of rusting away inside the sarcophagus, it's now here at the Institute.
So does this installation really grant wishes?
Well, it can show anyone exactly what they wish to see. A customized illusion of happiness. It's one of its built-in functions. But we're both adults, you and I. We realize that all those who come to the Wish Granter are already enthralled to their own illusions.
Why did you bring the monolith here? Wasn't one failed experiment enough for you?
Skiff, please. Alpha artifacts are a source of power not only for the generators, but for other Project X installations as well, including those designed to create illusions. Like the monolith. If your Alpha artifact activates the monolith now, we'll know it's genuine and can be used with the generators.
My people are trained for this. They will handle it.
The hell they will. It's my artifact. I'll be the one testing it.
the installation, Skiff. Everything's under control.
What you want is here, Stalker. Come. Humanity is corrupt. Mankind must be controlled. What you want is here, Stalker. Come. I want the zone to disappear. What you want is here, Stalker. Come. I want immortality. You will receive what you deserve. I want to be rich. The path has ended, human. Come. I want to rule the world.
I want this all to end.
Look, darling. This mousetrap still works on stalkers.
Alpha is real. That's all that matters. We don't need this one anymore.
Strider's buddy isn't walking out of here alive. I'm putting an end to this farce. Kill the stalker. Molotov a medic, now!
Are you okay now, Skiff? Would you come up here, please?
What did you see? What happened in the monolith room?
Now, you're the one who's gonna tell me what the fuck is going on here. Whose memory did I just see? Why did the ward attack me? Wish Granner my ass.
Calm down, Skiff. Please. That was just a minor distortion. An illusion, nothing more. It's over now.
He's telling the truth, soldier. The installation has been shut down. You're safe.
Was that another botched experiment, Doc?
I wouldn't call it that. I didn't foresee those sea vestiges, that's true. The monolith showed you someone else's memory. I never expected that. Who knew those tall tales had a basis in reality? But I was sure you'd be fine. It was impossible to calculate the safe level of Psi exposure when the monolith was first created. But it's a different story now. I used the minimal configuration, see? You're safe and sound, and despite some unpleasant side effects, everything went well. The Alpha artifact worked. We can begin the experiment.
Are you planning to use the Wish Granter again?
Why would we do that? It's a relic of the old zone, a distraction for those who manage to enter the sarcophagus. But Shirka doesn't need that. We have the ward to protect us. Besides, even in its prime, this ancient hunk of junk never functioned as intended. The last thing I need right now is Shirka fanatics, thank you very much.
What are you gonna do if the connection is successful? How are you gonna use the anomalous energy?
Shirka will become the very thing you stalkers saw in the monolith. Except, we'll grant wishes for real, and we'll do it for all mankind. The Earth will have an inexhaustible source of energy. We will reach the outer limits of the solar system. We will work wonders.
Are you sure it's safe connecting the artifact to the generators?
There are certain risks, of course. But inaction would be far more dangerous. We must take control of the zone's anomalous energy before disaster strikes. When we connect to the generators, the zone will be eliminated. And the anomalous energy will finally start serving the needs of mankind.
Yes? Got it. He'll be there. Go to the projection room, Skiff. She's waiting for you. Good luck.
And Skiff, I'm sorry about your home. I wish great experiments could always be performed without casualties.
Skiff! Thank God you're here. If only Darlin had listened to me, I wouldn't have to cheat. You know that's true. Tell her. I'm begging you.
Your friend is a strange kind of scientist, Skiff. He loves secrets more than discoveries.
He's no friend of mine.
Skiff!
That makes sense. People need more than just a couple of days to really become friends. You need to trust one another, share your secrets. Like the fact that someone stole the scanners from Shirka just because he was so envious of Dr. Dolly. And guided by his co-conspirator Faust, he insisted on murdering every last witness. Including you, of course.
I can explain everything!
There's no need to repeat yourself, Professor. This man almost got you killed. So it's up to you to decide his fate.
Why should I care?
Professor Herman, you may go.
Skiff! Thank you. Thank you.
Professor, you forgot something.
Goodbye.
Yevhen Martinenko, 25 years old. Born in a small town, loved a good book, but preferred a good fight. Served in the army, upon returning home was engaged in risky part-time jobs. No real friends, no family, just lonely evenings in front of the TV. A while ago, he came home to find his place in ruins. You've been through a lot, Yevhen. Cigarette? After the fire at those apartments, everyone rushed to seek help from officials. But not you, Yevhen. In your search for the truth, you had the courage to enter the zone. Perseverance is an admirable quality, and you've got heaps of it. That's why we can thank you, and you alone, that the scanner is back at Circa. The zone is extremely dangerous to the outside world. But thanks to you, we will soon have its power under control. And in the meantime, you can return to the mainland and move into a beautiful new house.
Sounds great.
You deserve it.
But I want to be there for the experiment. Bread was promised. Now it's time for circuses.
Dr. Dallin speaks highly of you, but the experiment requires top-level security. Although, perhaps you could help us in this matter. Someone's planning to stop us, right? Stop us getting what we deserve.
I can't help you. Sorry.
Skiff, come in. Are you there yet? See if you can get to the labs and find out about the monolith. I'm counting on you, Stalker.
Someone's taking advantage of you again, Yevhen.
Yeah. And you aren't?
Strider has nothing to offer you in return, unlike us. Find him. Ask him to lay down his arms. No worthy gods should begin with bloodshed.
يقتنع سكيف أن دالين وجماعته فقط جيدين بالتدمير، وتدمير كل شيء من أجل التجارب، ومستقبل تحت حكمهم قد يدمر حياة أشخاص كثيرين. بعد القتال ومحاولة تدمير سيركا ومخططهم، وعند محاولة فك الجهاز، يؤثر الحادث على سترايدر ومجموعته، ويهرب دالين. يهرب سكيف من سيركا عن طريق الأنفاق.
You all right? Let's go!
Go out here. Proceed
Out the fucking way!
Connection established.
Step back!
It's done.
You motherfucker! about the stalker! Visitor!
نقابل فيكتور ونخبره بما حدث لنتعرض لهجوم مفاجئ.
I'm glad to see you, buddy. Let's get out of here.
Hey, would you look at that?
Ти моя любов, ти рідна матінко моя.
It's alive! The zone is alive! It survived, Skiff! It survived!
You're fucking crazy! I almost died at that fucking institute.
Where is Strider?
Now you ask.
What happened over there, Skiff? Where is Strider?
He's...
Why are they shooting at us? Why are you shooting at us? We're with Strider!
Dud? Just like you can't get rid of the sky up above.
What?
They say the sun's always shining in Pripyat.
Bullshit. Damn. They got all soggy after all. I should have kicked the habit. That means Strider and Dubny and they're all gone? Right. I guess the zone didn't protect them after all. How come, Skiff? Incoming from Wide Island. Maybe not all of them got hit by the monolith thingy, right? Come on, chime in.
Richter, it's Lodochka. The island, it's a disaster. Something is happening, and it's...
Calm down, Professor. Deep breaths. I need details.
It happened all at once. Like a signal. Intense sea activity. Incredibly powerful. Noontide. Richter. They've all turned into monolithians again.
Fuck.
I found out where it started, but I can't get there. I'm at Quiet's camp. Someone's here. Richter. I need your help. Can you hear me? Help!
Looks even worse than I thought.
Lodotchka mentioned some kind of signal. What do you think it was?
I bet it was the exact same crab that made poor horse jump us. He wouldn't hurt a fly. Lodotchka's gonna have a heart attack when he hears about this.
What the hell is happening on that island?
No idea. Where's Scar when I need him, damn it? I may not be Spark, but it's high time he showed up. We need to get the professor out of there, Skiff. There's no way we can sort that shit out without him.
Ever thought it might all be Scar's fault? He and the ward are all busy with their zone turf war, and the rest of us gotta deal with the fallout. Did you know that Scar tried to stop Dallin from replicating the Caribbean experiment? Maybe Monolith is back because the wish granter was taken to Circa. Scar couldn't let it go.
I didn't know about the Caribbean experiment, Skiff. I'm not one of Scar's men, and Spark doesn't report to me. I don't have a clue what they're up to or where they are. But you're right. Scar is capable of anything. The question is, will his shortcut lead us to the zone we want?
Okay, I'll help Lodotchka.
Right. Here's the deal. You take care of Wild Island and Lodotchka, and I'll go find Scar. Sure hope it's not a monolithian bullet keeping him quiet.
نتحدث إلى البروفيسور لودوشكا، ونعلم أن المونوليث استيقظوا وتم التحكم بهم من جديد، ويجب العثور على مصدر الإشارة التي تتحكم بهم وإيقافها. نجد بعد ذلك الجهاز المسبب بهذه الإشارة، ونذهب به إلى سكار لنحاول إيقافه. سكار لا يبدو متفاجئ من الجهاز، وعنده خطة لتدمير الحرس في المنطقة، ولكن أولاً يجب الوصول إلى مصنع برومين وإيصال الجهاز فيه للتحكم فيه وإطفائه.
I get it.
I've seen what this piece of shit is capable of.
The ward is about to attack Duka. Their best men are going to be there. This piece of shit would be very helpful in thinning out their ranks.
So we're back to the same old bloodthirsty plan, huh?
That's how the zone works. Some people have to suffer, so other people can stop suffering.
You knew all along, you son of a bitch.
Tell me, do you actually have some place to go back to? Or have you found what you were looking for?
Too many words, too few answers.
Man. A long time ago, I woke up in the scientist's mobile lab at Yonam Station. They were good men. They fed me and took care of me, all while huddled together in a cramped little iron box. I wanted to help them, to find them a better place to live. During one of my trips, I stumbled upon the chemical plant. Yes, sure, another brick monstrosity, but back then, it was like an oasis to me. So those good men moved there. It was the first Spark group. We kept to ourselves, minded our own business, even during the new faction war. Until one day, bam, 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 Topol, he was the first to die. Mace tried to warn us. Over here! But all he could do was wheeze. Spirit and I tried to escape through the workshop, and then the second assault squad burst in. Boom! But Snake had a grenade ready for them. Thieves rule and wardens rule. Boom! And now tell me, who holds the chemical plant now?
The ward.
Yes, the ward. I've kept away from any ruins ever since, except for the ruins of the Institute. Sure, you can take my bloodthirsty plan as paying off a debt. But this war isn't just my war. Yes. You. Him. You came to the zone looking for justice too, didn't you?
What's the point of all the sacrifice, Scar? All these victims.
What's the point? We're all to stand upon the sea. Through death, through darkness thus. And choose the nets that swallow me. This mortal coil failed us. Do what must be done, and the mystery will reveal itself. That I know for sure. As for you, just have faith.
What's the plan, Scar? What's our next move?
The plan is as simple as it gets. The Ward intends to destroy the zone, along with you and me, of course. But we're going to stop them. How? Easy enough. We're going to strike back, starting with the Dugas for now.
What do you want me to do?
First, head over to our tech, Power Plug. He'll hand you the control emitter and give you the 101 on how to use it and where it goes.
Oh, and Power Plug's got a little present for you, too. It's time to stop hiding, Skiff. Let the zone know you're one of us now.
ندخل بعد ذلك مقر المونوليث ونقاتل حرس وفاوست، ولكن لا نقتله ليخدعنا بقدراته على إيهامنا بذلك، وكنا جزء من خطته. نخرج من منطقة دوغا ونلتقي بفرقة الشرارة، نذهب إلى ملخيت ونطلق المثبت الأساسي للمرصد ونعيد تشغيله ليستقر المكان. نذهب إلى دوفبالوف، وهو عالم يستطيع أنه يعطينا جهاز لنركبه على الخوذة الخاصة بنا من أجل مقاومة قدرات فاوست. ونعلم أيضا أن فاوست كان ضحية لتجارب دوفبالوف عليه عندما كان صغير، كأنه فار تجارب لقدراته الخارقة. وبعد الحصول على الجهاز نذهب إلى تقني خاص لتركيبه على الخوذة.
What project are you talking about?
I told ya, Project Leash, the mutant control project. They cooked up all sorts of freaks, then tried to make gadgets to bust them around and zap them remotely if things get out of hand. As you know, they fucked up the later parts. When the project got shelved, those colored mutants were supposed to die peacefully in their cages, not run amok in the zone spooking stalkers. So much for a promising project. But I suppose promises are made to be broken. How about a drink to that stalker?
Let's have another one. Sure.
To abstract thinking. If man is the measure of all things, then the measure of a man is 3 shots of this magic vodka. So go ahead, ask your questions while I'm feeling charitable.
How do you destroy phantoms and defeat someone who can create induced illusions?
Sheen double, eh? You probably just had some bad vodka. Try some of mine. It's good for more than just keeping radiation at bay.
When I saw the man who created those phantoms, I was stone cold sober.
Ha ha ha. And I was stone cold sober when I saw evidence that it was impossible. But who am I to forbid you from living in a world of illusions? If you're really so eager, drag your ass to X5. That's where the whole three-ring circus used to be. Try to find the blueprint for the suppressor. It's out to help you. I'm all out of vodka anyway. Come on. I'll give you the key card for the lab.
Any documents in the control room should be off limits to lab assistance. Last week, someone took the suppressor manually yet again, jeopardizing a scheduled experiment. This is not the first case of negligent handling of crucial Project X documentation. This matter needs to be addressed at once.
The stalker, he's back. Those papers I mentioned, do you have them?
Where are your manners, young man? You won't even offer a man a shit and pour him a cold one?
Here. I don't want to be anywhere near these things.
This is... Yes! This is it! At last!
There's nothing exciting in there anyhow. I've told you before, young man, if even my own work can end in failure...
Faust wasn't exactly a failure, in a way. Haven't you heard? He tapped into the X network, brought the monolith back, and caused a bloodbath all over the zone.
So he's... your project? The abilities you incorporate...
Shut up! I knew I was right all along. So that bunch of old farts in pots haven't given up on my research. Hooking him up to the monolith was a stroke of genius. And I told them that the only way to create a true controller is to preserve his capacity to think, to feel, and make decisions. Sure, right now the choices he's making don't align with what the Ward, the NDST or anyone else had in mind. But I did succeed.
Who is Faust now? What have you turned him into?
We granted him the abilities of a controller mutant. But I'm convinced that Faust has retained his humanity. See, there's no more Project X, no C consciousness, no MDST to protect. He wasn't being directed by a program. He initiated this of his own free will. I believe the monolith became an idea to him. Give a man an idea he can grasp, and he'll do much more than he would ever do coerced. I've always said that it works better than any leash.
Why did you create Faust?
The mutants turned out to be far too unpredictable, useless, and downright dangerous. The aim was to mold them into obedient soldiers. The Liege had some success with more primitive tools. But I believed we were on the wrong path. The error, I thought, lay in the very design of the controllers. Without consciousness and human empathy, their C abilities were pitiful. Faust demonstrated this vividly, but masterful tools necessitate much more precise fine-tuning.
The MDST? What's that?
The scientists from Project X who, unlike me, were eager to continue their research even after it was officially shut down. It appears they were the ones who made the controller project a reality. Officially, they had no funding or approval to proceed. However, Sea Consciousness wasn't content with merely creating the zone. They were determined to safeguard a pitiful existence. That's why they needed the monolith. And later on, Faust and his ability.
نذهب إلى محطة دوغا الفرعية ونوقف الترددات التي شغلها فاوست ونرفع الطاقة إلى أقصى قدرة. نبحث عن فاوست ليبدأ القتال بيننا وننتصر عليه، لنرى بعض الأمور والأسرار التي يكشفها لنا فاوست قبل وفاته.
The fight is over. A mortal dies, yet the soul endures. Welcome to the subtle world. Take a seat, Skiff. We have a lot to talk about. What time of day would you choose for an intimate conversation?
I prefer dusk. What a fascinating show.
Much of the zone is not what it seems.
What the hell did you unleash upon us?
You know more than I do. Envoy of the monolith.
What?
You stood by his side, carrying out his will, and now you've come for me. I have angered him, and that is why you are here, seeking revenge and a reward.
I don't get it. I just want to reclaim what I've lost.
That makes two of us.
Is that so?
Some come to the zone to make money. Others come looking for miracles. Many just want to find happiness, you know? A way to feel real and alive again. But have you ever met anyone who was truly happy? And what do they look for if the miracles don't satisfy them? The monolith brought joy to a chosen few. But I've decided that all stalkers in the zone deserve better.
How generous of you.
I've been here before. Once. A long time ago. When I was a stalker. Looking for an adventure. I took just one awkward step. And my whole world plunged into darkness. But in the end, it was I who gained true sight, while the others kept stumbling around in the dark, searching for invisible wonders. The monolith showed me the zone for what it truly is.
The monolith has nothing to do with this.
You know more than I do, envoy.
There is no monolith, Faust. You acquired controller abilities in one of the X-Labs so you could guide the Monolithians and serve C consciousness. So long as they were alive.
Well, you would say that. I'm not surprised. You need to stay here a little longer. There is nothing you can keep secret that will not come into the open. It's just a matter of time. Such is the will of the monolith.
Come in. Do you copy? Is anyone still alive out there?
نلتقي بعد ذلك بسكار في إكس 17 ونستعمل جهاز قارئ المعطيات ونتحدث مع الوعي سي.
Not really. Whether we dig in or not, everything's going to change very soon. Do you get it? Oh, you will. Skiff! At last! Did you find it?
Possibly. What is it?
It's the key to something incredibly important. Something that's going to change us all. And it's all thanks to you and me. Come, the time of miracles is nigh.
What miracles?
Terrifying ones, astonishing ones, and above all, real ones. Those are the only kinds of miracles we have here in the zone.
All right. What do I have to do?
Place the key on the controls over there and hold your breath. Come on, use the key already.
Questions for me. Ask them, and then we'll decide what to do with you.
Who are you? Or what are you?
We are C consciousness. We were once 7 scientists, 7 distinct personalities. Now, we exist as one mind. By merging our consciousnesses, we've achieved a direct connection with the noosphere. I am the representative of C consciousness.
Everyone in the zone thinks Strelok killed you all. How did you manage to survive?
When Strelok went to Lab X7 with the intent of destroying our bots, we were certain that the end was near. As it turned out, even after our physical demise, our existence persisted within the noosphere. Regardless of Strelok's intentions, any efforts to revive us would have been futile because the merging of our minds is irreversible.
Since you survived, does that mean the noosphere is an extension of life?
The noosphere is much more than just the Earth's information field. Thanks to the zone, sentient beings can achieve eternal life in the form of subtle matter, pure consciousness, free from the constraints and limitations of a physical body. However, should anyone attempt to harness the anomalous energy, it will inevitably result in the annihilation of all subtle matter.
What are you trying to achieve?
After the reckless intervention by Shurka, the structure of the noosphere was damaged, isolating individual subtle matter images from one another. The Shining will reinstate the right to immortality for all sentient beings in the zone, and eventually, for all of mankind. From then on, our liberated consciousnesses will gain the ability to communicate directly with one another, facilitating the free exchange of knowledge and experience. It will be the dawn of a new age.
So this is what the Shining Zone really is. I knew it in my heart. I believed in it all along. Seek and ye shall find.
The Shining can rid us of the darkness that's holding us back, preventing us from hearing each other. It will grant us eternal life. No pain, no regret, no suffering.
How can we make this new age come sooner?
Scar, the word is at the gates. It's just a matter of time before they break through.
But of course. Fuck! Take care of them and fast.
Remember, I don't work for you.
You're working with me. Over and out. Skip, I need you to help distract the ward while I get the professor out. I'll meet you outside. I can't get the professor out of here while you're still hanging around. You have to distract the ward.
بعد ذلك نقاتل بعض الحراس لنصل إلى المدخل السري إلى ملخيت ونتحدث مع سكار. وفقا للوعي سي تتواجد حياة أبدية في النوسفير، وهذا كيان شرحنا عنه بالألعاب السابقة. ويعتقد أن ستيرلوك الوحيد الذي يعلم إن كان هذا الكلام صحيح عن الحياة بداخله، وهو الوحيد الذي يعرف الطريق إلى هناك. ولكن للوصول إلى ستيرلوك يجب الوصول إلى شخص يدعى الدكتور، والمفترض أنه الوحيد الذي يعلم مكان ستيرلوك، لأنهم دخلوا المنطقة معا بالسابق ويعلموا أسرارها. نقابل العديد من الأشخاص وشخصيات قديمة مثل سيدروفيتش، والقيام بعدة مهمات للحصول على إحداثيات ومكان الدكتور في الغابة الحمراء.
If anyone knows about that center, it's him.
What do you know about Strelok?
All there is to know in the zone. He did what no one has ever done before. He reached the very center of the zone and revealed Pripyat's secrets. I've been looking for him for as long as I can remember. But so far, all my efforts have been in vain. Lucky for us, he wasn't alone on his journey. He had Fang, Ghost, and a doctor with him. And everyone save for the doctor is either missing or dead.
So, what are you gonna do next?
You should be asking what you're going to do. To find Strelok, we'll need to track down the doctor. He's the only one from Strelok's group whose whereabouts aren't a total mystery. He's a legend in his own right. He materializes out of thin air, heals everyone he encounters, even mutants, and then vanishes without a trace.
Okay, where do I find him?
I have no idea, but he's often sighted in the Red Forest. Listen to the local tall tales. There's always more truth to them than meets the eye. At the very least, you'll get a break. I have a feeling you could use one.
نجد الدكتور وكذلك سترايدر، ولكنه مصاب، ويطلب الدكتور جهاز من مكان للمونوليث لعلاج سترايدر، ونقوم بإحضاره.
The monolith guided him to hunt me with live bait, and I won't let you finish him. Enough deaths.
Is he going to make it?
I've treated worse injuries, even on monolithians. Especially on monolithians.
He spilled a lot of blood to get here. His own, and other people's.
And so did you, I imagine. I'm aware of what he's done. but he's injured and needs help. That's all that matters to me.
So, it was him who killed the mercenaries and hunters.
They were bait. A way to catch my attention.
But you hadn't helped them.
How many lives can a dead doctor save? Sometimes you need to make small sacrifices so you can save more lives later.
So, this is what the real doctor looks like.
Do you know him? This monolithian?
Strider. His name's Strider.
That's a good name. An honest name. You were looking for the doctor. Well, you found him. Now what do you want from me?
I'm looking for any information about Strelok. I know you two have some history.
I doubt Strelok's figured out how to bring the dead back to life. So it's up to us to help Strider. Everything else can wait.
You think there's still a chance to help him?
In a way, Strider's fortunate to be a monolithian. There's something that can help men like him, but not us. I've marked a former monolithian hospital on your PDA. If they've tapped into the old stashes, you might find a regenerator there. Along with the monolithians themselves, of course. I'd ask you to spare the wounded and keep them alive. But it's your call, Stalker.
Why are you so concerned about his life?
Because it's the only thing we truly possess. No matter how bad we believe it to be. Now go. Don't waste any more time.
عندما نعود يكون سترايدر قد فاق ولكن غير واعي ويحاول قتل الدكتور. نكتشف أن الدكتور هو كايمانوف وهو الشخص الثامن الذي كان من المفترض الدخول في الكبسولة الثامنة مع باقي الأعضاء من الوعي سي، ولكن 7 فقط من دخلوا وشكلوا الوعي سي قبل قتلهم من قبل ستيرلوك، لكنه انسحب في اللحظة الأخيرة من دخوله للكبسولة لأسباب سوف نراها قريبا، ويريد الآن مساعدة سكيف في اختبار نظرية المادة الدقيقة وكشف الحقيقة كاملة.
How long did you know each other?
Not long. I met him on Wild Island, back when he was still human.
He was someone who had everything taken away from him. His past, his ability to fight back, even his name. We go to great lengths to cover up our mistakes.
What do you mean, Doctor?
After years of work, a group of scientists managed to tap into the noosphere, the Earth's informational field. An achievement comparable at best to the conquest of space. It was a turning point not just for science, but for the fates of the human race. However, as with all people, each of my colleagues was truly interested in only one person. Himself. they began to dream of worldwide fame, of laurels crowning their bald, shiny heads. Naturally, the truth couldn't come out about secret laboratories, brutal experiments, and other such dubious undertakings. It was out of the question. And so, they all got carried away with their dream of a perfect world. You know how the saying goes, great minds think alike, though fools seldom differ. And lo and behold, what do we have decades later? The Zone, in our image, after our likeness.
You were there, right? For the C Consciousness Project?
I was once as deluded as they were, but my doubts soon outweighed their confidence. And so when the experiment took place, one of the pods was left empty. The eighth one, or rather, the first, Dr. Kaimanov's pod. My pod. And so you've solved yet another mystery of the Zone, Stalker. Perhaps the most unsettling one. Dr. Kaimanov. Pleased to meet you.
There was an eighth pod.
The human brain is too frail to handle a direct connection to the noosphere on its own. In order for it to work, we required 8 participants in pods filled with a specific solution. I was supposed to be in one of those pods, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Valentine reproached me for my lack of courage. But given how things turned out, I was actually too daring. In the end, what we got wasn't control over the noosphere, but rather the Zone itself. The lesser of two evils, if you ask me.
The scientists you mentioned, C Consciousness, they're still alive.
No, that can't be. Strelok dealt with them back in 2012.
I spoke to the representative through the visiograph in Malachite. They still exist in some kind of form he called subtle matter.
Subtle matter? But that's impossible! That means it's still going on.
So, you were the one who created the Zone?
Me? No, certainly not. The Zone created itself. I merely facilitated its emergence. Although my colleagues and I had different expectations for the outcome of our experiment. You see these blind dogs? I've been trying to tame them for years, but they were born in a lab where they've known nothing but pain and fear. But Tiger here found me on his own. He just came out of the woods one day and tried to steal a sausage. He was born free and had the freedom to make his own choices, you see. The Zone is our collective offspring. But all we've imparted to it is suffering and sorrow. It doesn't know any other way. Maybe we're the same.
Why did you refuse to get in the pod?
Because I've always held on to my belief in humanity. My colleagues, on the other hand, advocated for fixing it through the noosphere, purging it of darkness. How could I consent to such a notion? How could I permit them to rob all of humanity, not just of its ability to act freely, but even to think independently? Everything dark and light about us is a result of our own choices. The Zone was born in a place of tragedy and horrific experiments, but I believe in a different zone. A zone open to everyone.
What do you know about subtle matter?
It was a theory developed by Valentine Darlin, the leader of sea consciousness. Apparently, he's now become the image of the representative. Back in the day, he ridiculed my calculations regarding the existence of the noosphere, while I firmly believed that subtle matter was unscientific. In the end, I turned out to be right. But if he was also close to the truth, that changes everything. According to his theory, subtle matter can preserve a reflection of a person's mind, their personality. If you're implying the representative is real, that means they actually succeeded.
Before me, Strelok was the only one who'd spoken to the representative. That was back in 2012, before Sea Consciousness died. Strelok managed to reach the center of the zone and return unscathed.
Then Strelok probably knows more about subtle matter than I do. Along with the sea technologies that Sea Consciousness has mastered during their 6 years of frenetic activity, chances are he's still researching it to this day.
That's why I'm looking for Strelok. Word is he's back in the zone.
I haven't seen him in quite some time. Maybe that's for the best. Our perspectives on the zone have probably developed quite differently over the years. If your information is correct, I doubt he's ventured too far from the cordon. Men like him tend to develop a deep attachment to a place they regard as their own and refuse to let go.
I want to find out if subtle matter is real. Things like this shouldn't be left to blind faith.
The scientific method isn't just about the experiment. It's about being able to replicate it. And I happen to know how to test a few of my hunches. If only Valentine could see me now. Well, perhaps he can. We tried to connect to the noosphere as an experiment in the Orbita underground lab. Back then, I saw nothing like the afterlife. But now, with the zone, I think the truth is worth taking a risk. But first, you need to get the cartridge from the signature station in a different lab, X3, near the cordon. It's been 20 years, so the entrances I knew of are long destroyed, but stalkers always find a way. Talk to Sidorovich, he's in charge of the cordon. and could have heard some stories about X3. I'll send you the code to the cartridge slot. Take it and head to Orbita. Good luck.
يرسلنا سيدروفيتش إلى شخص يدعى دارك، وبمساعدته بعد مغامرة كبيرة وأماكن خطرة تحت الأرض والأنفاق نصل إلى سيتروليك. ولكن يجب أولاً الوصول إلى المختبر X3 واسترجاع شريحة مهمة لتشغيل الجهاز من هناك.
This is just what I need right now. Open it. I've got your back.
I'm not looking to make friends. Skiff.
Skiff? You got some, curious friends here. Why are you here, Skiff? Doc had no choice. Unlike you. Who you working for? If you lie, I'll know it.
What about Dark? What did you do to him?
I didn't do anything. It was the TVs. They're neurovisual programmers. Those previously affected by them can't survive another exposure.
What do you mean, Dark had no choice?
He's a sea consciousness agent. Killing me was just a program planted in his head. Those who made it to the center of the zone got the short end of the stick. Their prize was either to join Monolith and protect sea consciousness, or become an agent and do their bidding. The Stalker program. That's what sea consciousness called it.
I'm with Spark. They know what's really going on in the zone. Maybe they can help me find a new place to call home, too.
You're like a moth drawn to a flame, ready to get burnt to ashes. Scar's trained to follow orders. Clear Sky used to call the shots. That's when he almost got me. But who's he answering to now? I don't think you bothered to ask.
At least with Scar, I know what he stands for. But you? I have no idea what you want.
I want the zone to be left alone. All that common good Scar and Korshinov talk about is just a smokescreen. What they really want is to control the zone. Each in his own way. No. The zone doesn't owe anyone a thing. Realizing this made me an enemy to both the Ward and Spark. Now, how exactly did you find out about X3?
So the Mercs are your friends, then? You're playing dirty. You put a hit on Dark. Maybe others, too.
When you're fighting against everyone, you use what you've got. They were my backup plan. Since you're here, it failed. The zone is no stranger to death.
The doctor told me about X3. It seems like the two of you have some history. He sent me here to test a theory.
Caimano. Yeah. He helped me get to the center of the zone to take down C consciousness. Now he's using other people to fix his own mistakes. How convenient. He used to be part of C consciousness. He would have gotten into one of those pods himself if he hadn't escaped at the last minute. What kind of nonsense did he feed you? Something about the old experiments of the dearly departed and the data that might still be here?
Have you ever heard of the subtle matter theory? Kaimanov wants to test it.
Immortality in the noosphere. The C consciousness scientists are dead. I killed them. All of them. I took a piece of glass from one of their pods as a keepsake. It's real. And so were the bullets. Subtle matter is an induced illusion. A Psi radiation technology C consciousness used to manipulate people.
Induced illusion? Like Faust's phantoms?
Like the phantoms, the wage granter, the physiographs, the scorcher, or the shining zone. Do you want a peek? It's right here. You can grab the data the doctor wants along the way. Just be sure to shut it down on your way out. When I found this place, I realized the zone can be true to herself as long as someone keeps trying to use her to fucking brainwash us. Whether through TVs like these, or the stalker program before them. I just wish I knew who that someone is right now.
So the Shining Zone is a lie?
I saw it when I took down C consciousness. It seemed better. So bright, so real, or so I believed. I spent years wandering the zone in search of its shining counterpart. I suppose that's when Scar caught wind of it. But my shining zone turned out to be, well, you saw what it was. Just another illusion, another lie. And the one he's looking for, it never existed in the first place.
So, what's your next move then?
Keep searching. Right now, I've got to find a way into the Stalker Program Control Center. The neuroprogrammers in X3 should be connected to it. I just need to figure out how.
Dr. Kaimanov reached out to me. He asked me to take the cartridge to Orbita Station.
Kaimanov is an old asshole. He's always had a mind of his own. He knew the C consciousness experiments were fishy all along. But instead of stopping them, he decided to see how things played out. Still, the zone ended up teaching him something after all. The only way to understand it is by taking action. So, Orbita it is. Maybe you'll find the kind of truth that suits you best there.
There can only be one truth.
Then, you don't know the zone well enough. I'll get in touch when I figure out if you're worth it. Not if, but when. And remember, either you're against everyone now, or I'm against you. The choice is yours. That's the price of my candle.
نذهب إلى مجمع فيه مكتب كايمانوف لتشغيل الهوائي. بعد تثبيته ونضع الشريحة في الجهاز ونجرب إحدى الكبسولات في المجمع لنرى بعض الأمور، يأتي سكار ويدور حديث بينهم، وهنا نقطة تحدد نوع النهاية للعبة بحسب اختيارك للانضمام لسكار أو معارضته.
Skiff, what's going on? Where are we?
You're dead, Strider.
Then, I'm no more. But the experiment. Tell me we made it in time.
Yes, we did.
Really? Good. Were any of my men hurt?
No, just you.
Well, we protected our new life. That's all that matters. You asked me about my good luck charm, remember? It's an empty cartridge casing. Nothing special. A reminder from the day the psi fields were turned off.
May 2012. The military is storming the CNPP. Loon and Sovat teams are in my sector. The primary objective is Quartet.
Southeast 180. Landmark. Inspection tower.
Target, Sovat 345. Low lateral.
Target, Quartet 400. Moderate lateral.
Windage. Breathing. 3, 2, 1.
Suddenly, the voice of the monolith was gone. I opened my eyes, as if after years of coma. And through the scope, I saw the body of an unknown soldier fall.
It's the empty casing from that cartridge.
It reminded me of what it meant to not be in charge of your own life. But now, we are free, masters of our own destiny. Thank you, Skiff. Noontide will remember what you've done.
This rocket ain't gonna take you into the noosphere. Open up. Well, well. What a meeting. A good man in a tight spot. You don't give up easy, huh? Well, keep sniffing around. Hey, is it just me, or were you talking to somebody?
Yeah, Strider.
Strider? How'd you get here? Strider! Strider! Have you boys seen Strider around here? Strider! Strider! Turns out there is life in the noosphere. Can you believe it?
If you ask me, it looks more like a mind prison.
Should have listened better to the representative. Quit concentrating on the here and now. Think instead about what we might achieve. The shining! To get rid of the darkness that imprisons us, preventing us from hearing each other. Imagine an eternal spring, Skiff. No pain, no regret, no suffering.
بحالة الانضمام إليه تكمل عملك في المجمع وتخرج بسلام.
I know, Scar. I just wanted to make sure.
Wonderful! I hope you didn't waste your time and that you figured out something interesting. So now it's time to share. Care to tell me how you ended up on Orbita?
I found the doctor. He said I might find some answers here.
Faith requires no answers, Skiff. Especially not from these gizmos. But I'm glad you stayed on the right path. The Shining. That's the only answer we need. Now we can go back to our search for a visiograph. There's bound to be another one out there in the zone. Which means we still need Strelok.
I found Strelok. He thinks that all Psi devices are controlled by the Stalker program. If that's true, there could be another visiograph at the program control center.
Get him to spill everything he knows. He'll help us re-establish contact with the representative. Strelok himself doesn't need to know that, of course.
في حالة المعارضة تقوم بمواجهة الكثير من الحراس للهروب من المجمع.
Scar, if the dead start talking to us, we'll end up slaughtering each other. Then there won't be peace for us. Not even in death.
You know, all this time you've been a talisman to us. Someone truly inspiring. I believed in you, but it turned out to be a forgery. That's why you didn't get it. Shut the door! You're not worthy.
يطلب سترولوك أن نذهب إلى محطة اتصالات توربوسفير ونفعل لوحة التحكم هناك، الذي اكتشف كيف يمكن تحديد موقع مركز التحكم في برنامج الستوكر، وأنه يجب تنشيط البرمجيات العصبية، ولكن جنود العقيد يحرسون المكان الآن ويتحكمون بالمختبر، ويجب الذهاب والمحاولة بأي شكل.
Reset.
Yep.
Push the button.
Can you see me?
Yeah, looking good.
Apparently Dark One's got 20/20 vision.
What?
That's his eyes you're looking through. Wave to the man, Dark One.
Hello, Skiff. It's Dark One. Remember how I tried to kill Strelok? I changed my mind.
Holy shit. How is this possible?
Well, sea consciousness used to have very advanced technology. Now we need to figure out what the ward wants to do with it. Anyway, it's time to wrap this up. It won't be long before they sniff you out.
I've got an idea. Talk to you later.
بعد الذهاب هناك وتفعيل وتجربة الجهاز، يقع سكيف في يد العقيد كورشنوف، وهنا يتم تخيير سكيف بين الهرب أو الانضمام إلى العقيد، وهذه تحدد أيضا واحدة من النهايات للعبة.
Find out who we contacted. What's wrong with you, soldier? You're a constant thorn in my side. You helped Strider, got mixed up with Spark.
I eliminated Faust.
And for that, I'm grateful. Sit down.
What is this installation, Colonel?
Look, I'd love to gather all you stalkers around the campfire and explain exactly what we're guarding and why. But I have no desire whatsoever to trip over your soiled mattresses while on patrol. I've been ordered to keep the aftermath of Project X a secret from the likes of you. It's too bad you trusted those dreamers. You've got a knack for it, you know? Taking people at their word. Who was it?
The Dark One and Strelok.
You trusted Strelok? An agent of sea consciousness?
Strelok is an agent?
The Dark One, Scar, Strelok. Sea consciousness bred them like cockroaches. This installation will help us find every last agent, but only within the perimeter. Unfortunately, many of them have already left the zone, and if we do nothing, houses on the mainland will continue to burn and collapse. This is reality! Miracles and fantasies are for those who can't face up to the real world.
I'm not your enemy, Colonel.
Better late than never.
Anything else, soldier? Make it quick. Clock does. Time's of the essence, Skiff.
What's our next move, Colonel?
For now, our main focus should be controlling the anomalous energy. Based on our intel, it looks like the control center might give us clues. But first, we need to get to Pripyat. The only way there goes through Yaniv. Head out right away and contact Yekcherov if you can. Our forward units are already in Pripyat, but maintaining communication has proven to be challenging. Locate them, and they'll help you find the control center. And Skiff, in case the Corps starts acting up, I've heard of a stalker named Spirit, who's known to help people cross the boundary. Keep that in mind.
يحاول سكيف الهرب، ولكن يتم أسره ووضعه بالسجن.
Bold move.
يأتي ديلين ويساعد سكيف بالهروب من السجن.
You're awake. Finally. We need to talk. We don't have much time.
An emission is approaching, soldiers. Seek shelter immediately. I repeat, we have an incoming emission. Seek shelter.
Skiff, I know we've had different agendas so far, and it might be hard for you to trust me, but I genuinely want to help.
What is this place?
The isolation unit at the chemical plant. The Colonel keeps prisoners here.
Are you trying to recruit me again? Don't bother. I can see right through your ward bullshit.
I'm here because we have a mutual acquaintance, Richter. He was once a field consultant for Circa. We parted ways because his priority was the zone, while mine was science.
And now?
And now, I'm beginning to think there are more important things than science. Richter told me Ozersky and Scar have managed to build a visiograph in Lab X-17 at Malachite. He said you had a personal conversation with the representative. Is that true? Did you speak with him?
It all adds up now. The head of Sea Consciousness was Valentin Dahlin. Are you his son?
How did you know that?
It doesn't matter. I've got my sources. I know about Sea Consciousness and your father, along with his subtle matter theory.
Have you learned anything new about subtle matter?
Yes. What's left in the noosphere is just an imprint of consciousness. A copy. A collection of a person's memories. If that's immortality, it's frightening. An eternal prison where the mind remains static. I'd rather die and be done with it.
How can I be sure of what you're saying? Do you have any proof?
I went to Orbita and ran an experiment with a prototype pod. And while I was there, I saw a projection of Strider. It was just a copy. Not the man I once knew. Strider's dead.
Which means the representative.
I'm sorry.
What you shared wasn't what I hoped to hear. But I appreciate your candor. I'll give you the key to the cell. You need to get out of here. The sooner, the better.
You're taking a great risk. Do you realize that?
On a scale from day-to-day work at Shirkة to the Alpha Artifact experiment. I've been through worse. Just be careful. There are patrols everywhere. Wait until I'm at a safe distance. Then, get out of here. Skiff, if our paths ever cross again, remember, I'm on your side.
بعد الهروب يجب الذهاب الآن إلى بريبيانت، وللوصول إلى هناك يجب المرور عبر محطة ينيف التي يتحكم فيها الفيلق بعد مساعدة فريق الفيلق ومقابلة ريكتر مرة أخرى ليساعدنا بالوصول إلى ستالكر يدعى سبيريت لنجده مصاب، ولكن يعطينا القدر الكافي من المعلومات للوصول إلى بريبيانت. ولكن يجب أولا أن نستعيد الماسح الضوئي من مختبر. نستخدم الماسح الضوئي للعبور إلى النفق. نصل إلى بريبيانت، وهنا تختلف مع من نتكلم حسب الاختيارات السابقة مع سكيف لو قرر الانضمام مع سكار أو العقيد أو ستيرلوك، لكن المهام جميعها متشابه. نقابل بالمؤسسة العقيد ديكتيريف، وهو شخصية من الألعاب السابقة، ونقوم بالعديد من المهمات له من إعادة مخططات وخرائط ومعلومات تساعدنا للوصول إلى منطقة الوعي سي المتحكم بالمنطقة. نذهب بعد ذلك مع العقيد ديكتيريف إلى المؤسسة، وحسب الاختيارات السابقة مع من نتحالف سوف يختلف نوع الحوار في هذا المكان أو القتال مع من.
Equipment hasn't been maintained in a long time. We need to be extremely careful.
Darling, don't act up. This ragtag bunch can't get to the generators on foot. So what was the point of opening up X11? Just do this, and soon the name Dimitro will echo round the world. We need someone we can all trust to get those fucking hoops spinning. And we both know the representative isn't an option.
But my father...
Your father's dead!
في حال الانضمام إلى ستيرلوك نقاتل العقيد كورشنوف وندمر جهاز الوعي سي.
The goddamn physiograph is just a fucking talking TV set!
There's no way to know for sure, but if there's even the slightest chance...
You're not a scientist, you're just a lousy piece of shit.
Oh yeah? Fuck you!
You got it? Here. Who are you?
We are the result of an experiment, ended creating a super consciousness called sea consciousness.
Father.
According to our calculations, Earth is surrounded by a special informational field, the so-called noosphere. It links all sentient inhabitants of the planet and stores their mental images.
What's the true scientist rule?
Our main goal was to make small adjustments to the noosphere, allowing us to remove things like anger, cruelty, greed, and other negative factors from the planet.
Dad? Like you said, what's the true rule of a scientist?
Individuals are unable to affect the noosphere.
Be quiet.
But sea consciousness could.
Shut up! Shut the fuck up! It must be erased, destroyed, eradicated. I want it wiped out forever, without a trace, without pity! Skiff! Help me with this!
أما في حال الانضمام إلى العقيد كورشنوف يموت ديلين وننفذ خطة الوعي سي.
This ragtag bunch can't get to the generators on foot, so what was the point of opening up X11? Just do this, and soon the name Dmitro will echo round the world. We need someone we can trust to get those fucking hoops spinning. And we both know the representative isn't an option.
But my father...
Your father's dead! He's gone! I saw them boiling in those pods with my own eyes. Goddamn physiograph is just a fucking talking TV set!
What happened on the orbiter station, Skiff? What did you see there?
I talked to Strider. It was just something that looked and sounded like him.
The Shining is real. Colonel, subtle matter is real.
You're not a scientist, you're just a lousy piece of shit.
Fuck you!
Control unit! Obey and get the control unit! I'll make this carousel move.
Herman?
Hello, Skiff.
I'm sorry about that show at the Institute, Skiff. You had so much anger in you, but you still did the right thing. I don't know if you forgave Professor Herman with your cold mind or warm heart, but I followed your lead. I followed your example. Now everybody's alive and well. Isn't that wonderful? Besides, Herman is a great scientist. He's every bit as good as late Professor Darling. He's the one who gave us something to celebrate.
It should have happened during the Alpha experiment at Shirkة, if Faust hadn't made some alterations to our plan. But better late than never. Since Professor Herman replaced the control unit, the X network is in my hands. neither the representative nor anyone else will be able to access it. After all these years, Project X will finally be completed.
So the anomalous energy of the zone is finally under control? Just like you wanted?
Not while the link to the generators is severed. Only Alpha allowed remote access. But that's just a minor obstacle. We'll re-establish the link between the Foundation and the generators and claim the vacant board in X7. And that's how it will be.
What'll happen to the monolith and the agents of sea consciousness now?
In my view, the monolith wasn't the most successful sea consciousness experiment. They certainly fulfilled their purpose, but the notion of needing a new god to compel their loyalty made everything too complicated. Now, as for the agents, the finest among them weren't even aware they were agents. But that didn't stop them from carrying out their mission. Fascinating, isn't it?
Dr. Kaimanov doesn't think a single pod will be enough.
Kaimanov? That scientist who missed his chance to enter the 8th pod, thus granting us the opportunity to seize control of the anomalous energy? He's stuck in the past. You don't need 8 people to interface with the noosphere anymore. I alone am sufficient, along with the mediator in the pod, who will serve as an intermediary between the zone and the noosphere. The mediator is a human, but a unique one. They must have Class 5 Psi protection. It's a necessary requirement that cannot be ignored.
Do you have someone like that in mind?
Certainly. Colonel Korshunov. I insisted he receive the required Psi protection. We had to handpick the ward soldiers exposed to Psi effects to manufacture it. I knew you wouldn't permit us to experiment on your man, Colonel. That's why you were kept in the dark until the 11th hour, when the fate of the future and the lives of a few soldiers hang in the balance. I believe the choice is self-evident. Besides, that Psi protection saved your life at the Dugan.
So what do you expect me to do next?
Professor Herman will fill you in on the details of our plan to restore the connection between the Foundation and the generators. I can only teleport you to the nearest bunker in the Dead Valley, Yevhen. The teleportation system isn't fully operational yet. It will take some time. So, remember to grab the experimental Project X suit. You've got the coordinates already. For now, we'll have to make do with older designs to make sure you're protected.
لو انضممنا إلى سكار يموت العقيد ونستمع إلى الوعيسي ودلن ونساعد سكار لتنفيذ خطته.
We are the result of an experiment, ended creating a super consciousness called sea consciousness.
Father.
According to our calculations, Earth is surrounded by a special informational field, the so-called noosphere. It links all sentient inhabitants of the planet and stores their mental images.
What's the true scientist rule?
Our main goal was to make small adjustments to the noosphere, allowing us to remove things like anger, cruelty, greed, and other negative factors from the planet.
Dad, like you said, what's the true rule of a scientist?
Individuals are unable to affect the noosphere.
Be quiet.
But sea consciousness could.
Shut up! Shut the fuck up! It must be erased, destroyed, eradicated. I want it wiped out forever, without a trace, without pity. Skip!
Dig deeper, darling. Dig deeper, son.
It's all real. It's always been real. The miracles of the zone. Subtle matter. Eternal life within the noosphere. And I nearly destroyed it. Almost deprived humanity of its chance at immortality. I could have killed my own father.
But in the end, you didn't do any of that. You saw the truth just in the nick of time. And you made the right choice.
Yes. That much is true. But I came dangerously close to making the wrong one. I really meant well. I believed that I could make the future a little better. But Agatha's plan was never about the good of humanity, was it? All she wanted was total control. And if it wasn't for you, she would have achieved it. I don't know if I would have found the courage to get to the truth if you hadn't opened my eyes to it. Thank you for everything.
What do you intend to do now?
I'm going to talk to my father, for starters. For far too long, I was convinced this would never happen again. I've got a lot of questions, and a lot to apologize for. I just need to enhance the connection. The link is still unstable. I don't want to lose him again before I'm done. And after that, well, I suppose it depends on you. You and Scholar.
You made the Shining possible. You've played your part. Now Scar and I need to finish what your father set in motion.
It's still very dangerous out there. However, if you succeed, if it all goes according to plan, all these deaths, the Wardens, Spark, Noontide, ordinary Stalkers, they'll all be undone. Humanity will finally attain the life it deserves. A life without pain, without death, without hate. It's a risk worth taking.
Maybe, after the Shining, great experiments will finally be performed without casualties.
Sounds like a promising future. Best of luck to you. See you in the new reality.
At last. I was afraid I wouldn't make it in time. Grieve not for the dead, Skiff. When they awaken, they will be embraced by the Shining Zone. Speak to the representative. Our goal is within our grasp. It's time to find out how to attain it.
Greetings, Skiff. The last time you conversed with a representative of Sea Consciousness, it was comprised of all its members. Thanks to your assistance, I can finally speak for myself. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Valentine Darling, the leader of the team responsible for making contact with the noosphere. In 2006, I refused to follow the regulatory board's orders and became one of those who created the zone by mistake. I'm sure you've accumulated quite a few questions since our last encounter.
We've come so far, but I still don't understand how you've been carrying out your plan all this time.
In the disaster of 2006, Sea Consciousness took control of the X network and anomalous energy. Later, we created the monolith and the agents. But there were those who helped us from the beginning.
Korshunov told me about your agents. He claimed they pose a threat to the mainland. What's their true purpose?
Everything we created has served one purpose: the successful realization of the Shining in the future. The creation of agents has been fully justified. Thanks to them, you're on our side. Unfortunately, after Strelok deactivated the B'Si installation, we lost contact with the zone for a while, so we had no control over the agents who decided to leave the zone. Don't think they haven't been rewarded for their efforts. We've given them a reason to live, Skiff. A higher purpose.
What about Strelok?
There was a glitch in the programming. Strelok went against his program. With the help of Dr. Kaimanov, who betrayed us once, he managed to get to the monolith control unit. We invited him to join us in the 8th pod. A mistake that might otherwise have cost us our lives. Because he chose to destroy us instead.
Not a mistake. The Zone's providence. You never died. You became pioneers of the truth. Guides to eternity.
And who's been helping you all this time?
We weren't the only ones who went up against the regulatory board. After Project X was frozen, some of our former employees decided to continue research under our guidance. They called themselves MDST. When Strelok shot our bodies and destroyed one of the X network's central nodes, we continued to exist in the noosphere, but lost our connection to the zone and the ability to interfere. The Monolith program, X network, and related laboratories whose functioning was ensured by C consciousness stopped for 10 years. Only the agent's programming survived.
Until you brought Alpha to Circa. And until I ignorantly reactivated the system from the X-11 lab. But it turned out that we were fortunate.
How did you get mixed up in all this anyway, Scar?
The Spark Science Task Group has always worked for the scientists. They studied the zone, while I believed in its mysterious destiny. Once I heard the Shining Zone legend, I started looking for its manifestations even in the most remote and dangerous places. And found Orbita. Talked to Topol, who's dead. Just like you talked to Strider. Later, Ozerski and I did everything we could to restore the X-17 visiograph and find out whether it's possible that the C consciousness scientists survived. As you can see, I was right all along. Now you're on our side. The Zone's providence has always shown us the right path.
What do I need to do to make sure the Shining becomes a reality?
First, we need to restore the connection between the center and the generators. It can only be done manually at the generators, so you'll have to make your way there through the Dead Valley. I'll do my best to teleport you as close as possible, but the teleportation system is currently unstable, so you'll need an experimental Project X suit. I'll give you the coordinates. Once the connection is restored, we'll need another piece of the puzzle. A mediator, a human being, who will act as an intermediary between the zone and the noosphere.
Who's gonna become the mediator? It between the zone and the noosphere.
Bringing the Shining to life would be impossible without you, Skiff. However, the role of the mediator requires someone with Class 5 PC protection. A single person wouldn't have sufficed in the past, but now, with C consciousness manifested as subtle matter, we can enhance the connection from the other side. Scar's mind exhibits an exceptional resistance to emissions. That's why the responsibility of resurrecting us falls on his shoulders. One might say, he was born for it.
I've always known.
We are on the verge of achieving our goal, and thanks to you, we can now attain it. Now please, leave. I'd like to speak to my son.
Hi.
لو تم الانضمام إلى ستيرلوك نقابله مع ريكتر ويطلب منا قتل الدكتور كايمنوف الذي نكتشف أنه أبو ديلين، بس أنا نسيت أحكي من الأول.
He's got 9 lives, just like a cat.
What's happening to the zone, Strelok? I heard you say the emissions are getting worse.
I can't believe this guy. Here I am, worried sick, and he's been eavesdropping on us the whole time.
Richter, after the Stalker Program Control Center was destroyed, local emissions became more frequent. First in the Dead Valley, and then the entire zone began to shift. I guess no routes are safe anymore.
What's up with Diktirov? He saved my life at the Foundation.
What do you think? After he brought you here, Daggy headed back to the city to do some recon. He missed the good old Pripyat air, he said. I give him a day before he starts missing the adrenaline rush too. Monolith seems to have lost interest in Pripyat since we took down the Foundation. They're pulling out of the city. Some of them are heading to the CNPP, others to the Red Fortress.
How did it go? Is the Stalker program finished? Have we put an end to it?
What's the rush, pal? You just came too.
Skiff's right, Richter. We have no time to spare. Neither does the zone. She can't survive as long as there's someone looking to take advantage of her.
Like who?
Kaimanov.
What about him? To what end could the old guy possibly try to use the zone force, Trilog? Finding the best way to fix a blind dog's broken leg?
The good doctor whose only wish is to heal everyone is just a mask. Here, listen. He recorded this in X7 not long before connecting to the sea consciousness in the noosphere.
Barbarians who fancy themselves surgeons, connecting to the noosphere to separate good from evil with the precision of a scalpel. When did you become so adept at distinguishing between good and evil, darling? None of us possessed that skill before, and that hasn't changed now. No. Access to the noosphere belongs to all of humanity, without exception. It's a test that could either drown us in an abyss of mutual hatred, or elevate us to a new level where we can finally learn to understand and forgive each other. But it's a journey for all of us, not just 8 chosen ones.
It will drown the zone. That's for sure. Kaimanov is well aware of that. But it never stopped him.
So you want me to kill Kaimanov?
I want the zone to just be the zone. Kaimanov doesn't. Getting to him now isn't easy. The zone is shaking after the Foundation was destroyed. Due to anomalous disturbances, everywhere is dangerous now. But you can do it. You have to.
But why does it have to be me? Why can't you kill him yourself?
Because. No wavering, no stupid memories about an old friendship and a life I owe him. One shot. An easy death.
I'll make my decision after I talk to Kaimanov.
You won't make it to the Red Forest without me. The zone is renewing itself, just like it did after the second emission back in the fall of 2011.
But you were right, Skiff. You'll never get anywhere in the zone if you're afraid of your own failures. Now let's find out if I'm fit to be a true guide, or if I'm better off dead. Let's go. When else will we ever have a chance to see the zone like this?
Don't let Kaimanov get into your head. Get rid of the doctor and find me by the Red Fortress. Let's finish what we've started. From the Red Fortress, we go to the generators, through the teleport. They've had no maintenance in 10 years. So you need experimental armor from Project X. Otherwise it'll dissolve you into molecules.
The monolith is pulling back toward the CMPP and the
Here are
Red
the
Fortress.
coordinates. You'll find it there.
عند مقابلة الدكتور يتم تخيير سكيف بقتله أو مساعدته لتحقيق حلمه بتحرير المنطقة، ومرة أخرى يعتمد اختيارك هنا إلى تحديد واحدة من النهايات المتعددة.
You're back. The monolith is no more, and yet its cause lives on. The greatest temptation is trying to control something we do not fully understand. But what do we do when faced with the truly inexplicable? Some tear it up to make souvenirs. Others keep it chained up inside a perimeter cage. Perhaps all the zone really needs is our compassion. Perhaps the time has come to let her choose her own destiny.
And then, what happens?
A tragedy most horrible, or a joy most profound? No one knows what the zone truly desires.
The zone is not sentient.
And yet, has a big heart. One that craves freedom and the death of her tormentors.
That's what Stray Locke wants.
He believes that he has been reborn here, so he will protect the zone, that's for sure. But how does one know the value of freedom if one has never been free?
We can't just unleash an unfathomable monster on the world.
Do what you must. Whatever will be, will be.
بحال اختيار قتل الدكتور نذهب مع ريكتر لمقابلة ستالكر لنجد مواجهة مع بعض الجنود التابعين للعقيد الميت كورشنوف. بعد القضاء عليهم يتم إصابة ريكتر لنتركه غير معلوم لو مات. نقابل ستيرلوك ليفتح بوابة لنذهب إلى المقر التي توجد فيه الكبسولات والمكان الذي ابتدأ كل شيء منه، من الحادثة إلى الوعي سي وغيره. نقابل بالداخل مجموعة من المونوليث وجماعة سكار حتى نصل إلى ممر يحتوي على المكان الذي يتم غسل أدمغة بعض الجنود والستوكر كما رأينا في لعبة كلير سكاي سابقا.
But the zone couldn't be free unless he died. And it was worth it. Just look at it now. No, Skiff. I won't let anyone have the zone. She gave me a new life. One that I'm ready to give back if I have to. I will always protect her.
I will help you.
Good.
Jesus. Scar.
Poor Scar.
نجد أيضا سكار، وبعد الحوار بيننا لو لم ننضم إليه بالسابق كما ذكرت نبدأ في قتال معه. بعد هزيمة سكار وجنود آخرين وتشغيل المصاعد نصل إلى الغرفة التي تحتوي على الكبسولات.
It is. My gorge rises at it. Oh. Where be your jibes now? Your gambles? Your verses? Prithee, Skiff, tell me one thing. Do you think the representative looked of this fashion in the earth?
I guess.
And smelt so, huh? What a miserable end, Skiff. The representative dies. The representative is buried. The representative turns to dust. The dust to soil, the soil to clay. And who's to say that clay won't end up a stopper for a rusty rain barrel? Just to think, once he determined the destinies of all these stalkers. So this is why, in our own dreams, sometimes we see their memories. Yes, but the representative is alive. Yeah. Only the enemy claims there is no life after death. If that is the case, then there is no shining zone. And if there is no shining zone, then all these lives were wasted in vain, Skip. No. No. We know it's not true. Oh. I've lost my head for this cause, along with all Indians.
يوجد 4 نهايات في هذا الجزء، وكلها نهايات ذات طابع كئيب وسوداوي بشكل أو بآخر. أول نهاية سوف نشاهدها بحالة الانضمام لتنفيذ حلم ستيرلوك وقتل الدكتور. نساعد ستيرلوك بتشغيل الكبسولات ونراه بعد ذلك يدخل الكبسولة لتغمره المادة ويبدأ بتفعيل حلمه.
Seems that this is the only way to unveil the zone's real secret. The one you've been trying to figure out. Come. Hope the old man wasn't lying this time. You. Slide that thing back up. On my signal. Push it.
Hello, Skiff. It's the Dark One.
Attention! Crossing strictly prohibited.
أحب ستيرلوك المنطقة بشدة، لدرجة أنه كان مستعدا لفعل أي شيء لحمايتها. من خلال الدخول إلى الكبسولة ضحى بحريته لإزالة كل من يجرؤ على إيذاء المنطقة أو السيطرة عليها، وأصبح يملك القدرة بالتحكم بجماعة المونوليث. يغادر سكيف المبنى ليصطدم بمجموعة من الجنود من المونوليث بالخارج. بعد أن شعر بالنهاية رفع سلاحه ببطء لمعركة أخيرة. ستيرلوك يأمر الجنود بالسماح لسكيف بالمرور محققا وعده. يمشي سكيف ويبدو في حالة من الذهول، بينما يستخدم ستيرلوك قوة المنطقة لمطاردة الجيش الذين يحرسون المحيط. يغلق ستيرلوك جميع الطرق للدخول والخروج من المنطقة، ويمنع أي شخص من المغادرة، بما في ذلك سكيف الذي يقف عند المدخل الذي دخل منه المنطقة وهو يعلم أنه محبوس هنا مدى الحياة. في النهاية الثانية، بحالة الانضمام للعقيد كورشنوف، نساعده على الدخول للكبسولة ليحقق حلم مجموعة شركة بتدمير المنطقة وتجريدها من سحرها والعوالم الغريبة التي فيها. وتبدو لو أنها تعود إلى طبيعتها قبل الحادثة، ولكن يبدو أن شركة تسحب قوة المنطقة لتجارب خاصة بها وتسخير قوتها. تعطي أغاثا مفتاح لسكيف، تعبيرا على أنه هذا منزله الجديد بدل الذي تدمر في بداية القصة، وتعرض عليه ليصبح ضابط في قواتهم، ولكن لا يبدو مهتما بذلك. يغادر سكيف المنطقة ليكون حرا، أو يعتقد أنه حر بالوقت الحالي.
Thanks for the crutches, you old bastard. All right. Go to the consoles. Look for Octa. Set it to initial mode. Now, service exposed mode. Insert the cartridge. One last step for a spent man. One giant leap for mankind. Do it. To the victor go the spoils.
So it's up to you to decide his fate.
I'm glad to hear that.
To ruin our little party. You're back. Excellent. Help him up. The
the means justify the end. Thanks to you, we're going to live in a new world with a bright future. I keep my promises. You can stay with us, or... You look tired. I'll show you out. Striking, isn't it? Someone has to keep an eye on all of this. And Colonel Martininka does have a nice ring to it. That's your bird. Do think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Condor 1, whatever this stalker wants, this stalker gets.
Where to, boss?
Home.
People do not wish for the pursuit of happiness. They need their happiness here and now.
النهاية الثالثة في حالة الانضمام إلى سكار. كانت مهمة سكار مضللة ولكنها نبيلة، فقد حلم بمنطقة مشرقة حيث لن يعاني سكان المنطقة أو يموتوا بعد الآن، وإذا نجح فسوف يجتمع الأصدقاء والحلفاء الذين سقطوا أحرارا وخالدين في منطقة مغطاة بالزهور الجميلة. ورغم أن إيمانه كان على وشك أن يهتز قبل النهاية، فقد خطأ إلى الكبسولة لجعل المنطقة حقيقة واقعة.
Flip that switch. Very nice. My entrance ticket. Come on. Looking for Okta. Service exposed. Ah, I got it. Thank you. I'm going to go there. You're going to stay here. On my command, push that thing up. Don't let me down. Yeah. Ready? Go!
Richter, is this all real?
Reality is whatever you think is real.
Oh, God! He plays so well!
Finally, a superstar.
I still can hear, can see, and feel. Am I really here?
Well, who's talking then?
Many stalkers owe you their life. Thank you.
Come on, man! Spill it! Who the fuck are you?
The first ride on the Ferris wheel.
And me, Scar. Don't worry, this time you won't have to... Just a guy.
نرى سكيف يستيقظ في حقل من الخشخاش الأحمر، وتزدهر الحياة كما لم يحدث من قبل، ويخلع قناعه، ولم يعد يخاف من الهواء السام. ويتجول سكيف حتى يصل إلى قرية صغيرة، وكان ريختر هناك الذي قتله العقيد كورشنوف. وهناك أيضا استقبله أعضاء آخرين متوفيين بالسابق. وعلى رأس نار المخيم التي يحيطون بها يقف سكار الذي يطلق النكات بسعادة. وبينما تتحرك الكاميرا لتظهر انعكاس في بركة من الماء، يتضح أن المنطقة لم تكن أكثر من مجرد خيال. لقد تسبب تأثير سكار في إيقاع الجميع في هلاوس أو أوهام، بما في ذلك سكيف. يظهر سكيف جالسا عند النار، ليس محاطا إلا بجثث وبضعة أشخاص متبقيين محاصرين مثله تماما.
I choose the nets that swallow me. This mortal coil failed us.
النهاية الرابعة بحالة الإبقاء على حياة الدكتور وموت ستيرلوك وسكار والعقيد. كان الدكتور كايمانوف موجود منذ البداية. لقد شهد ولادة المنطقة، وعلى مر السنين أصبح شيئا من الأساطير المحلية. استخدم مواهبه لاحقا لإنقاذ حياة الستوكر والمتحولين على حد سواء. ما هو صحيح أيضا هو أن الطبيب كان يعتقد أن المنطقة ليست مصدرا للقوة يمكن استغلاله، ولا شيئا يحتاج إلى السيطرة عليه أو تدميره. يعتقد كايمانوف أن المنطقة تحتاج بدلا من ذلك إلى التعاطف والفهم، ولكن أكثر من ذلك تستحق أن تكون حرة.
badly, Strelok. Hold on, son. I'll take care of you. You're going to make it. Where will you go now?
To the north.
في نهاية خاتمة كايمانوف يدخل سكيف في الكبسولة لتنفيذ رغبات الدكتور، يطلق العنان للمنطقة ويتسبب في ظهور مناطق جديدة في جميع أنحاء العالم. يتغير مستقبل البشرية إلى الأبد. في الغالب تمثل نهاية كايمانوف ما يعتقد البعض أنها أفضل نهاية، حتى لو كان ذلك على حساب تدمير منازل وحياة أشخاص أبرياء لبناء مناطق جديدة. إن النهاية ليست لكايمانوف فقط، فقد حلم فاوست أيضا بمنطقة حرة، وقد يفسر هذا سبب تحول كايمانوف إلى فاوست أثناء تسلسل النهاية.
Show me what you found. I am blind, but it is you who cannot see for what it truly is.
One of the pods was left.
You're not worthy.
Get inside! The greatest temptation is trying to control something we do not fully understand. But what do we do when faced with the truly inexplicable? Some tear it up to make souvenirs. Others keep it chained up inside a perimeter cage. Perhaps all the zone really needs is our compassion.
You got control center.
center. What's going on over there? We've got anomalous activity at all our facilities. Yuga, respond!
Perhaps the time has come to let her choose her own destiny.
We're receiving numerous reports of unidentified anomalous entities. Not approach or make contact with the anomalous object.
There is nothing you can keep secret that will not come into the open. It's just a matter of time.
وهنا تنتهي قصة ستالكر هارت اوف تشيرنوبل. أتمنى أن تكون أعجبتكم القصة. يا ريت تشتركوا بالقناة وتضغطوا زر الإعجاب وتفعيل الجرس ليوصلكم كل جديد. مع السلامة ونراكم بقصة أخرى لاحقا.
I used to serve the monolith blindly until she opened my eyes. To keep life's adventure going, one must embrace freedom. Such is the gift of the zone.